Hey folks, my name is Pravus and welcome to more Rebel Inc. Escalation. There have been a couple of interesting developments for this game since the year began, and we're going to talk about them. First and foremost, let's address what is on the thumbnail. Yes, there is a new game mode for Rebel Inc. Now, some of you guys who watch my Plague Inc. and After Inc. content probably think you know what's about to happen. Oh, they're adding in a new daily roguelite challenge mode, aren't they? No, that is not what has happened. This game already had a weekly challenge mode. It doesn't need the daily. Instead, what you're going to see is as you set up a new game, once you get to this area, you don't immediately start the game. There is another decision presented in front of you, the new arcade mode and the old realistic mode. You see, for a long time, portions of the community, not me, but some, have been complaining that the insurgents are simply too annoying and realistic to deal with. They attack you where they are weak, they are surprising attacking you when you're not ready. It's just awful, and you'd rather spend your time stabilizing the region. That build order is the challenge that you're looking for. Well, to help those people along, we now have the new arcade mode, which makes the insurgents more controllable, more predictable. Stable zones are going to block fleeing insurgents. That's huge, by the way. Surprise attacks are less likely, and destroyed insurgents regroup slowly. So once you beat them in a fight, they don't attack you immediately afterwards once again. Now, you might look at that and say, well, that just makes the game easier. Yes, it does, actually, in a lot of ways. I think it does make the game easier, but that also does address what some people have wanted. I've even heard members of my own community say the number one reason they don't play Rebel Inc. is because they find the insurgents are just too much to deal with, and it kind of ruins their experience. This is for you. So maybe Rebel Inc. is going to be more your cup of tea. Let's go ahead and begin a new game in the Southern Desert and see what's happening here. It's been a while since I played some mega brutal Rebel Inc., so I'm hoping I can actually remember what I'm supposed to be doing here. Let's go for those education initiatives plus the regional census, and I'll go ahead and pick up the PR and media office as well. So one of the most important things I'm going to do is stabilizing some regions early on as much as possible, because that does control where the insurgents are going to go. I like that idea quite a lot. Why? Well, because what's one of the number one reasons you pick up, let's say, a fort? The reason you want to go for things like forts is because, well, yeah, they do provide a combat bonus, but insurgents can't flee into those regions. You can easily control and quarantine some of the insurgents, and you don't need nearly as many soldiers in order to keep them corralled and control the map. So having stable zones doing that is actually going to end up being a massive advantage for us. Let's pick up local police recruitment a little early. Not normally what I want to do, but I'll just go ahead and do it. It's never really a bad thing to have anyway. And since we already know regions are requesting it, that might help a little bit. We'll see what ends up happening. I mostly want to stabilize some of these city zones a little bit early if we can. I am playing, of course, as the smuggler, so anti-corruption's not as important to me. Let's go for some level of the healthcare and also telecoms, just so I can try to build up some of that stability a little faster. I do expect the insurgents to be firing off here pretty soon, so we're going to want to save up a little bit of money. There we go. Let's grab ourselves some coalition soldiers. Just like literally by a fraction of a second didn't have enough money there. All right, looking for the question mark. We have intel on most of the region, but I don't know where they could be. Women's rights, going to go for that. Oh, wow, no backlash. Usually there's backlash. All right, so good chance the camp is in one of these three zones. We're going to try to find it. If we are lucky, we'll discover it quickly. Looking for the second question mark on Mega Brutal. There's always a second camp. I don't see it yet. It's going to be just like the faintest ghost of an outline, right? Oh, wait, hang on. I see one down here, so we now know this is there. Let's deal with that. Where is, if you can't see it, it's right here. Like, it's just right there. Where's the second one? Not seeing it yet. Not seeing it. Yeah, but there it is. It's right here. Found it. Okay, let's grab that one too. Maybe we can destroy those before they become too much of an issue for us. We will see. What else are people asking for right now? They want water and they want regular roads. Good thing I did go for the policing, by the way. And yeah, there's almost always going to be lots of water demand on this particular map, which is one of the reasons I did deviate from the normal build order and just pick that up a little bit early there. All right, so we're going to get rid of this sucker, so that's dealt with. So unfortunately, some did spawn in time, but no reinforcements for you. No reinforcements for you. All right, so that's taken care of. Great. What else we want to work on here? Let's go ahead and pick up probably a level of anti-corruption. We do need that eventually. Plus, we can start working on some national soldiers. Maybe get some forts or two. I don't know, and that could be pretty great. All right, so they're going to be taking over this corner of the map. We kind of figured that was going to happen here eventually. We can fight them back and just try to keep them semi-corralled, and that wouldn't be a horrible thing for us. And I know these guys aren't going to flee into this region. Now, they always have had a bias to flee into their own controlled areas. So in this case, it wouldn't make much of a difference. I can always control that anyway, but most people don't know that. Most people have no idea how to control any of that sort of stuff. Let's go ahead and grab another national soldier. Yes, my corruption is way too high. I'm aware. It's going to cost me some reputation, but it's not the end of the world. Can you please pop over here? Why is my movement awful right now? Like, my movement speed is truly atrocious. What is going on? And the support level is looking awful, partly because of the corruption. Demand for TV, we could get involved and get some reputation, chance of corruption and stuff. I'm going to go for the support level, actually, instead of the reputation. That's a little bit more important to me right now. I see you guys are about to run in over here. Okay, we're actually having some serious problems. I'm shocked at how difficult these guys are proving to be, but let's run over here and deal with this. Kick these guys out of here before they go form a HQ. And I probably do want to go for some level of forts, since they are easily controlled right now, since there's only so many camps going around. The strategic communications is nice and all. We are actually meeting most of the demands from people, so we should stabilize relatively quickly. I'm not feeling that worried about it yet. Mostly I'm worried about my corruption stuff. Let's go for the national travel logistics. They shouldn't affect things like the coalition soldiers, so let's just go ahead and pick up a third. Fort right here, sure, fine, actually a good spot. It's gonna make it a little bit easier to keep these guys into this one area. What I really want to do is make sure that they don't cross this road, this bridge, and then I can keep them into a corner over here. That's just gonna be a little bit easier for me. Let's try to keep these guys kicked out over here as well. Move over in this direction, we'll be fine. All right, losing a lot of reputation at the moment, I'm aware. The main reason being just the corruption, which I feel like they may have rebalanced a little bit. Corruption sometimes is obviously pretty bad, but like sometimes it's really not that big of a deal. So I don't know, maybe they've ramped that up. They have readjusted the difficulty of the game just in general recently, which I think is interesting. They've made easy mode a little bit easier. They made normal mode a little bit easier. Brutal is kind of about the same. Mega Brutal is definitely just as hard, maybe a little bit harder. I guess we're trying to find that out. You might be asking, by the way, what was the second change that was introduced with the game? Because I didn't mention that yet. The second change is that they have changed publisher. Originally, Endemic did all the publishing themselves. Okay, another camp must have just spawned up over here. But this game, Rebel Inc., not Plague Inc., not the other ones, just Rebel Inc., now is being published by Hooded Horse, which is one of my personal favorite publishers, so I thought that was a very unexpected and interesting change. Kind of happy about that. Let's go for strategic communications here, by the way, trying to ramp things up. These coalition soldiers are struggling a little bit, but we are stabilizing some of these regions pretty quickly. Need national soldiers. I see this camp over here, and I can see this becoming a problem very, very quickly if we don't deal with that. I need to place some soldiers over here in this area. Did they change it so you don't instantly place the location of some soldiers? Now they have to actually travel or something like that? That'd be interesting. Could be that that's something that they did. We'll see. A little bit more anti-corruption. There we go. Support levels are looking pretty good now, so at this point it's just going to be a military game while we try to win. I'll wait for this national soldier to go pop up over here. It'll be fine. Another war distracts the coalition, so we're probably going to start getting some of those events now. That's just, you know, great, but whatever. Let's try to run up over here. We're probably not going to be able to take down this camp easily, but let's see what happens. This fort is actually very well placed. It's going to make my life a smidge easier. Going to go for another coalition soldier, probably some interpreters and guides so they stop antagonizing the locals. That's usually going to be a good thing for us to do. Another fort right here, absolutely. Make that even easier, thank you. And then let's try, how do we want to deal with this? I'm going to try running in over here for now, actually, because I don't want to get these guys out of the zone. I want them to stay where they are while I deal with the camp. Now we want to pop over here and actually try to win some of these fights. So they're going to die. Interesting, is that another thing that changed here? Because normally these insurgents would have fled over to this region. I guess I already have a soldier here, but they died instead. Is that now a default feature? That's interesting. It could be a default feature now for arcade mode. We'll see. Let's go ahead and apply some of that subtle pressure that we like to do here for the Foreign Relations Office. So this is going to go away. We can move a soldier. I mean, this guy's about to retreat in the only spot he can. No, he's dead. See, again, the insurgents are dying, not even fleeing in the first place. That is unexpected and interesting. Let's run in here and try to clear this out real quick, and then we can really focus on just dealing with these guys over here. What else you guys want? You want more roads and stuff? Sure, I'll give you more roads. More mobility never makes me unhappy. Actually, hold on. We got to deal with this. And then we have to deal with some retreating coalition soldiers. So that'll be okay. Not worried about it. So far, things are looking pretty easy for us. Just need you guys to flee. Thank you. Now we have to deal with this. So they're going to withdraw. We're going to try to negotiate, see if we can get something else, lose some reputation. Not a huge deal. I just want to get some rapid reinforcements, if you please. The soldier we had fighting down here is the one that left. That's unfortunate. Now we have to go over here. This actually got just completely destroyed, so there's nothing here at all anymore. Weird. I don't know what's going on with all this. I don't know. It's actually being fairly easy on me, but okay. Let's go ahead and pick up probably the highways for a little bit more. Plus, we'll get another national soldier. The corruption is very, very high. I'm aware. That is part of what's killing me, but we can hopefully start burning some of that down. Stop burning down my water infrastructure. Everyone likes water. What's wrong with you? I don't know. These guys just don't want to drink anything, apparently. Like, of all the things to destroy, really, though, you're going to destroy the water infrastructure in a desert? Are you stupid? The answer is yes. They're stupid. They're incredibly stupid. We can try to actually kill this group of soldiers, of insurgents now if we want to. I mean, like, we've got enough soldiers, we could do things like that. I'm going to threaten these guys, try to burn up a little bit more reputation before it becomes an issue. I've got a lot of money just burning a hole in my pocket. Let's do that corruption purge real quick. We could go for a local police expansion, which is nice, and it will make it less likely that they are going to become a problem for me in different regions later on, so we'll just go ahead and start rolling that out. Okay, we messed this up. They are now retreating into a different region, but I'll send some soldiers to go deal with them. Probably fine if they run to these mountains, who cares? In fact, actually, if I move a soldier right here, they can't flee over here because we have green-controlled zones. So actually, I can just cut these guys and destroy them right now, I think. Except they're going to be... Hang on. Pull back. Nope, they got out of there. Hang on. Move over here. Now they can't get back here anymore, so they're actually just going to die. Yeah, this is weird. This is weird. It changes the entire way that I want to play this game, honestly. More roads are fine. Let's go ahead and get some drones and some airstrikes just to make this a little bit easier. Find these guys, bomb them, boom, bye. And we'll wait for... Well, these guys are leaving. No. I'm just going to do a short extension. I don't think we need a long extension, to be honest. I think less soldiers are necessary for me to just win this. Let's go ahead and try to clear this group out entirely. Boom, boom, bada, bada, boom. Let's go for some more national soldiers so we can start losing the coalition soldiers, and I'm not going to care that much. A fort right here is going to be phenomenal timing, actually. They're not going to be able to do pretty much anything, and that's going to utterly destroy these groups. They're going to lose their camps, which means they can start spawning in pretty much any other location, but it's fine. Let's go for jobs. I want to go for, I think it's development discussions and then the remote subsidies to try and get us a little bit of extra power in the remote regions, start building up their support just a smidge faster. We also could go down the healthcare route and start getting things like polio eradication. Good against the hostile population. I find it also does tend to work fairly well in remote areas. These guys are all dead. We have no intel here still after all this time, which is kind of ridiculous to me. I'm going to let you leave. Fine by me. Let's go ahead and move some soldiers to take your place. Prepare some land, get a little bit of reputation that way, no problem at all. And they're not going to spawn any camps up over here, I think. So it's really just going to be these areas. But here's the thing. Like, because I'm surrounding these by supported zones, even if they spawn a camp right here, one soldier can run in, and they're not going anywhere. That's the end of it. It's that simple. Isn't that a little bit crazy? I think it's crazy. Let's start a democratic transition. Democracy just started. Hooray! They probably aren't that excited about it, but I am. I'm very excited about it. Let's go ahead and move over here or something like that. We could probably start working on getting things like the civil assistance and just try to roll out a few initiatives a little bit faster. That way, they're not going to hate me quite as long. And the insurgents haven't spawned off here for a very long time. I don't know where they are, so if we wanted to do a negotiation for peace, there they are, then it wouldn't be a problem. Here's the thing. I don't care that you're over here. I'm going to send some soldiers to kill you now. Even if there's a camp, you're going to die. Is there not even a camp here? I don't even know. All right. We're going to try to talk, because I think we can just end this game early now. Let's go ahead and prioritize those elections, get the extra reputation. These guys are going to have nowhere to go, so they all disappear. Bye! Holy crud. It is amazing. This is so much easier all of a sudden. So much easier. Some people are going to love this. Some people are going to say this is a completely unnecessary change. You just babified the game a little bit. I don't know. Maybe you're those kind of people. Maybe you're not. But, I mean, like, you got to admit, like, some people are going to love it. I've definitely heard a lot of people say, I don't like playing this game because the insurgents just always give me a bad time and ruin my experience. I'm like, that is kind of the point of the game. But I also know that there are people who don't necessarily want a cozy mode. They just want to focus on stabilizing the region. That's a fun enough challenge for them as is. Well, here you go. You got your wish. This is what you're going to get. Let's go ahead and do full elections. There are no insurgents, so we'll get the extra 5 that way. I'm agreeing to a peace deal. There are no insurgents, so we lose absolutely nothing, and that ends the game in pretty quick time. Easy peasy lemon squeezy arcade mode is going to be great for folks. Not for me, but good for some folks. I'm not really mad the developers did this. I'm not. I just also know that, like, it's just not my personal cup of tea. I don't want the game to be easier. I want to have enough tools to win it, and then for it to be incredibly difficult and unfair, but I overcome an incredible challenge. But hey, this is what's going to be in the game now. So, for those of you who want to, and who may have been sticking away from Rebel Inc., now's the time to go ahead and give it another shot. Maybe you'll find this manageable, maybe you can start having fun with it again, and quite frankly, as you start getting better at it, I mean, the insurgents aren't gone, so as you start getting better, maybe then you'll have more opportunities to practice, and then you feel like you can move up to realistic mode. And for you, there's a whole new realm of difficulty that you can explore, so like there's more of a ladder to climb. I don't know. That might be exciting for some of you. All right, that's all we got for today's video. Hope you guys are excited about this new game mode. If so, of course, hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe down below, and I will see you guys next time.